You are live. At least that's what it's telling us. So, what's up, folks? Appreciate y'all tuning in. For you guys who are here early, welcome. We see a couple comments already. Wings and Mumbo is already asking for the NFL 2K resurrected game clips. And what I will actually do when we go down the football route, what I will do is actually play that in the background. I found a video, and I will announce this again once we get to it. Shout outs to Robo. Whoever Robo is on YouTube, he has a 59-minute game from back in July. It's the Cowboys versus the Commanders. So we'll let it rock. Shout outs to Rate Sports. Shout outs to Lost Soul. Super shout outs to those guys, what they're doing. Where I appreciate those guys, and I will get to that in a moment, is that they play what they like to play. And that's going to be a theme tonight, I think. But anyway, welcome, guys. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all know what the main topic is going to be tonight. Of course, everybody wants to know what's the deal with Madden. For those of you who've played it on EA Access, EA Play, I still call it Access. I'm still playing. Matter of fact, let me see how many hours I got right now. I have the game, but I'm just playing the trial out. I got 2 hours and 39 minutes. So it's the game. It's just the trial version, but I do have the full game. Everybody wants to know what's up with that, whether you've played it on EA Play or whether or not you have the game, whether you're one of those people who got the Madden edition. And shout outs to, might as well say that here because I forgot to put it in my last video. I just thought about it. Shout outs to the EA Creator Network for providing me with the code. Appreciate that. I will have some content coming up. And like I said, I already forgot I was supposed to plug that into the video that you guys will see tonight. I have a franchise game. So, oops, my bad. But I'll put it in one of the videos, at least so they know that I'm, saying where I got the game from. But anyway, that's what we're going to talk about, Madden. But also, we're probably going to start with the NBA 2K news, man, because it's like we were talking last week. Smitty hits on this point a lot. When you get the game to a place where it's pretty much solid in the core area, you can throw all of the bells in, all of the whistles in, put all of the icing on the cake, put the little cherry on top. Some people like sprinkles. I mean, they can add whatever topping, whatever topping you want. They can, you like that? Okay, we'll put that on too. And boy, have they done something here with this NBA Eras. Wow. But anyway, we'll get into that. Shout outs to Sweet Jones. Appreciate the donation, man. Thank you very much. You know what? Hold on. Let me try something, guys. Well, I'll do it in a moment. I wonder if I can. You can add music now in StreamYard. I wonder if I can add the round of applause clip. Probably so. I'll try that in a moment. But anyway, Smitty, before we get into it, anything extra you want to say, man? I told Smitty we'll dive right into the NBA talk. But anything you want to hit on outside of that before we get into that topic?
Yeah, man. I'm watching Hard Knocks, bro. You know what I'm saying? And loving how, Detroit, getting that talk. You know what I mean? And hey, it's cool to see my man Rodriguez is shining out there and in practices and everything like that. He was like, bro, they love that he's getting to the ball. And he's a middle linebacker, dude. We drafted in the 6th round, and he's making the reads. He's making plays out there. Team's looking good. I love how I love seeing how Deuce and Aaron Glenn go back and forth with each other. It's hilarious. Excuse me, it's hilarious to watch, man. But I love it, man. I'm glad to see this intensity. I'm glad to see these guys showing this energy off because this is the kind of stuff we really didn't get to see last year. And it's like getting a chance to see this up close and personal is a good thing. And yeah, I love it, man. Like this is just beautiful, beautiful stuff right here. And yeah, like that's really it. I mean, look, like Sim said, Sim has had a bit more time to play Madden than I have. I'm just now like I'm gonna be playing the game while the show's going on here. This is my first time being able to play the game. And like Sim, EA, I didn't get a chance to cut nothing yet or anything like that. That's gonna happen more than likely tomorrow. I'll like do a little stream and what have you, get on so that way people could, so I can really see the game, like play the game, people can see it a little bit and everything like that and go from there. I'm gonna start dabbling with sliders and all that stuff in due time, but I just gotta practice, work on my passing game, all that, which is gonna take me some time. But I gotta get it in, man. I gotta get in on the sticks. You know what I'm saying? Got the stick in hand like Sim's showing his off. I got stick in hand, and yeah, I'm gonna be rocking. You know what I mean? So definitely gonna put in a little bit of time tonight, but after the show. But yeah, I just gotta get in. I gotta get it in some, man. You know what I mean? Because I gotta play I gotta play and see how the game felt myself. I know some guys said it doesn't feel exactly like the beta does. So I want to get my experience in and get some decent hands-on time with it, and then I can potentially elaborate on stuff tomorrow. At least that's my plan. So, but all in all, hey, I'm looking forward to getting into this game and just having fun with it. I definitely got to touch on this 2K stuff when we get to it, though, which we're gonna get to it soon.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna
but
right into it.
Throw it to you, Sim, man.
Yeah, man. And what I will actually do really quick, guys, I'm going to share. Let me do it. I'll share the article. I haven't had a chance fully to read it, but we definitely going to talk about it. And, I see somebody's asking the question, do you think it will be on both PS4 and PS5? I don't know.
What?
As far as the MyNBA era, like, is it going to be on? No.
It's not on both. It's only for this current gen.
Yeah.
That's what it said in the article too.
And see, guys, for those of you that need to hear this, it's not just Madden. I saw a back and forth conversation that Eric Rayweather was having with some people on Twitter today where they were saying, I don't understand why the stuff that's on new gen is not on the old gen of Madden. And he made the point of, imagine buying these consoles only to play a game that's exactly the same as your previous console. Where's the benefit? You know what I mean? Where does it feel like you upgraded? Yada, yada, yada. And listen, I'm not here to say features should or shouldn't be. I'm just here to say clearly it's an industry practice. I understand that. They always try to tell us that, it's processing power and RAM and all of that memory and all that stuff. They always sell us on that, right? And some of that is probably true. Some of it is probably we're going to just hold back. And we know the game. But I say that to say that's the game. And as you can see, 2K is doing the same thing. They're going to have a feature that sounds like something that is going to be interesting. Ooh, Smitty, boy. When we start talking like this on the fly, it just takes me down a whole nother thought process. Like, that's a franchise feature. That's a feature that might get people that don't play franchise to play franchise because it's interesting.
Exactly.
Yay. But we're going to get to Madden. Don't worry. And like I said, for you guys who are already here, thank you, Wings and Mumbo, for reminding me I am going to show NFL 2K resurrected footage as we talk about Madden. I did see just a side note here, Wings and Mumbo. It was interesting that I saw you had a take on NBA 2K saying that it's not a solid basketball game, and opinions vary. But it's interesting that you feel so strongly about old 2K football games, and you say that NBA 2K isn't up to snuff. So I'm just curious, to see the thought process there. I'm trying to understand it. But anyway, I think I do have the round of applause working. So y'all let me know if y'all can hear it. Round of applause to our man Brett Lee, as well as who was that? Sweet Jones for the donation.
Yeah,
Thank y'all, man. So let's get into it. I'm doing a lot of yapping, Smitty. Like I said, guys, I haven't read this yet. What the? Is it still playing? Oh, hold on. It's looping. My bad. I think it'll cut off now. All right. Have not had a chance to read this. I just heard the high-level details of it, so I will breeze through some of this. Smitty read most of the article, if not the whole thing, so I'm definitely a thought to him. Let him lead the topic. But as you can see, it says explore endless possibilities in MyNBA. For those of you that don't know, that is basically what my league is. They rebranded the name, I want to say last year, maybe the year before, but that's what MyNBA is. It says, what if Kobe and Shaq never went their separate ways? What if the Houston Rockets selected Michael Jordan with the #1 pick in '84? In NBA 2K23, explore any what if imaginable and experience different basketball eras. That already sounds crazy. It says, what is an era? I'll read the top part here. It says, an era is what we call a specific point in time that you can start playing a new MyNBA save. The MyNBA Eras mode is designed to be a time machine straight out of the box. All you need to do is pick your era and go. If you're a power user and want to tweak your roster or settings, we've still got you covered. We're confident that you'll be incredibly pleased with what MyNBA Eras brings to the table this year. So it then shows us some of the eras. Magic versus Bird. Now, if you're like me, many of us probably didn't really see that. Some of you guys, we may have been like super, super young, but not at a state where you was actively watching. Maybe some of you did. I didn't. That wasn't a time where, that wasn't my era. But of course, I know the Magic Bird era. They also have here the Jordan era. Now we're talking. This is probably what it's going to line up mostly with myself and Smitty. We remember that. We were kids. I probably really got into Jordan like around 90, 91. When I was really paying attention to the sport, that's my era. That's Jordan, right? Then there's the Kobe era. Now that's all the way my era. Kobe, I feel like grew up with Kobe. You know what I mean? But basically, you're going to be able to play these different eras. Some of the highlights from what it's saying here, and like I said, Smitty will get into the nitty-gritty. They have the courts, so it seems like they're going to have like realistic courts, uniforms, as you can see here, the Rain Man, Sean Kemp got his tight fade and everything. All right, presentation and commentary. I will actually read that part. It says, one incredibly satisfying visual addition you'll find in MyNBA Eras is something we put on display in last week's reveal trailer for the Jordan Challenge. Our team here at Visual Concepts went and created an era-specific filter system that was intricately designed to recreate the television experience of watching these games as they were originally broadcast during the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. That is crazy. Look at this. You can even see the color, the style. Man, I got so much to say about this, Smitty, and we're going to get into it. But basically, that's it in a nutshell. League rules, expansion, relocation, and gameplay changes. I won't get into all that, but I did hear, and Smitty confirmed it for me earlier, that each one of these eras will have its rules. So maybe the Jordan era will be a little more lax. Maybe the bad boy Pistons will be able to get away with some of that stuff. The fouls won't be called as tightly and things like that. Just crazy. So again, before I throw it to Smitty, I would just say this, man. This is the stuff that I dream about. And maybe not necessarily the eras, because some people would say, oh, it'd be a little more difficult with football. I'm just talking about the depth. This is the stuff that I dream about in a football game one day. And the reason why I say one day, because, for the foreseeable future, Madden is going to be the NFL game that we know. I can't wait till, if ever, it gets to a point where this type of sprinkle can be added to it, because the gameplay is at a point where you're all pretty much like, man, gameplay is the gameplay. They're going to add a few sprinkles here and there, but what else are they going to do to keep our attention? So imagine that. Getting back to a point where we know what the game is. We want to know what else they can add to it to keep your attention. This is what we're talking about. And I'm not going to do a direct comparison. You know how people always want to do, Smitty? We know Madden is not in this position yet. Everybody should know that. And it's fair to criticize them. It is. Franchise is still just a bit stale. Fair criticism. But if it's been like that for so many consecutive years, like there's no way you could turn around and look at yourself and say, why didn't Madden do this? Ain't no way. They got so many steps to go before they could even think about doing something of this at this magnitude. But outside of that, Smitty, take it away, man. What are your thoughts on this as a whole? What does it mean to you? Does it excite you? You know, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, does it excite me? Yes, 150%. I mean, dude, the Jordan challenge was one thing. And I remember Bill saying on Twitter when they announced the Jordan challenge stuff. And he was just like, man, excuse me, I hope you could use the rule sets and everything. Cause they talked about the Jordan rules and everything like that. I hope you could use these rule sets in other modes. And you can. You can still, because it says even in the article, let me pull it, I got it up here, but you can literally put, if I want the 80s rules throughout the whole thing, I can do it that way. The way they have it all set up is that you can literally play from that Bird era. So I don't know exactly when it starts, but in the 1980s. And you're in the 80s, and you're playing through that era, and you can literally start from that era and take a team and play all the way through. Like, well, I was speaking to one of my friends earlier about it, and I was saying, like, his favorite team's the Warriors. And I'm like, just think if you wanted to take Steph Curry and the Warriors right now and take them and put them in the 80s, obviously you're not going to play literally through the whole thing, but let's say you play some of it and you sim some of it. The point is, you could literally play through where you could try and get Michael Jordan on your team, try to get Scottie Pippen on your team via draft, try and make moves through free agency and get a play. You know what I mean? Like, you're going through these franchises, these seasons, with the salary caps the way they were at that point in time in history too, because that's the other thing. So you're not going to have today's salary cap in that era. Now, if you mess with it, I'm pretty sure they'll have options where you can tweak it and you can have today's salary cap in that era. I don't know. I would assume you could. But the point of the matter is that you can go all the way through and draft a good number of players, like draft Jason Kidd, drafting Grant Hill, playing with LeBron James, the 03 draft class. You know what I'm saying? You'll have those classes available. And like what Sim has said about the Jordan rules. Let me see the Jordan rules. There was something they have here. What's it called? Revamped team rivalry. Because the Pistons and the Bulls had that heated rivalry. See what he said? And I'll read it here. It says, when teams clash on the court, we now have a more in-depth system to calculate the heat index between two teams. This looks at numerous factors such as their history, rivalry status, and more to help manifest how players take to the court. Games with a high heat index will result in a more physical, aggressive game between the two teams. As an example, the bad boys really to feel like they were running the Jordan rules when playing against the Bulls. As such, when Isaiah and MJ battle each other, expect a rougher game than usual, and that system will extend to any other bit of rivalry across all eras. Now,
we need that in Madden.
Yeah. Yes.
Ravens Steelers.
Yup.
Come on, man. See, now little stuff
Packers
like that.
And Lions. You know what I mean? Like,
we could ask for that. Now that's a small thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff you got. This is the kind of stuff you got to have. And see, what I would like, what would be cool is if this is something that could be organically happening as well. So, like, let's say if you play in tight games against certain teams or whatever the factors may be, a decent number of fouls, because they don't tell us the whole formula here. But let's say if the certain factors align between those teams, you could potentially have a rivalry. You can organically, I mean, it would be sweet if you could, but it would be sweet if you could organically develop a rivalry between you and another team while playing through the mode here. Like, I mean, this is just so crazy because you have these eras that you can play through. Like I was saying to Sim before, Miami Heat wasn't in the NBA yet. They didn't come to the late 80s. You're gonna have the Miami Heat become part of it. If you play into the 90s, the Jordan era, you're gonna have the Grizzlies and the Raptors actually become a franchise. Being able to draft David Stoudemire, like you know what I mean. Like there are some players, Damon Stoudemire, Antonio McDyess, Kevin Garnett. All these teams, all these different players, and they don't all have to necessarily go to the same squad, but you're playing through with these 90s rules, the way the NBA played in the 90s. And that's what they're going for here. And it's like, bruh, that is incredible. This is remarkable. And it still give you that same sandbox setup. So you can still adjust rules and all that stuff the way you want it to play. And that's my point. You can mess around and say, I want this game to be like the 80s the whole time. If that's what you want to do, bet. And it'll play like that. Ooh, excuse me. As far as the rules and how they call fouls and things like that, what have you. Like, see, this is like what Sim said. This kind of stuff is enticing. How many debates do we freaking have? You know what I'm saying? About this kind of stuff. We have mad debates. Man, Jordan would average 50 if he was playing in today's game. Nah, man, Russell Westbrook, all them cats, they be averaging all these points in that era. I mean, listen, we know we're obviously talking hypotheticals, and at the end of the day, we're talking about a basketball video game. Excuse me, that's attempting to replicate that kind of experience. We know it's going to be flawed to some degree. We know it's going to fall short to some degree, but it's the principal point that these guys have literally, they're giving us the stuff that we would debate over, and we're able to actually play it. That's crazy.
That's bananas.
With all the details in it too, presentation, stat overlays, how you keep track of your squad off the court. Like you're not going to have a Twitter feed in the 80s because there's no Twitter. You know what I'm saying? You don't have any of that. They literally have that stuff gutted out until you get to the modern era, or basically the Kobe era. Like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy stuff right here. And listen, we know NBA 2K is flawed. We know NBA 2K's got issues. We know they got legacy problems, and they have a decent amount of logic issues and things like that in their game in 2K, with their gameplay as well as their franchise mode. But this right here is what I'm talking about when it comes to innovation. This is my point. This is the kind of stuff you do when your game is there to do it.
Yep, when you're there.
Let me make that crystal clear, because people be like, oh, but Madden shouldn't. No. Madden just can't jump to the front. Oh, but they made all this money. Yeah, they made all that money, but they still got to make the appropriate steps. 2K's made a ton of money too, and yet they made steps. You see what I'm saying? They made steps every single year, more and more steps. That's it. That is it. You can only, excuse me, you can only take so many steps every single year before you can take leaps like this. Like this right here is a leap. How many years have people just sat up there and said, man, they ain't done nothing innovative with my league and all that, or my NBA? I mean, if you want to sit up there and say they ain't do nothing this year, I respect your feelings. I have to strongly disagree with you, but I respect how you feel. I mean, just think about it. I could play through the 80s, bro. That
crazy.
whole era. I could draft Spreewell. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, it's just the crazy part. I can do that. It's not the team. It's not me taking a retro team that's already there and I'm plugging them in and saying, I want to play the NBA with this old school team and that old school team. No, it's you're playing through the whole NBA and its eras and its respective rule set with the presentation and stuff to boot all the way through. Come on, man. You can't beat that. That is some great freaking stuff right there to be able to play, man.
It's interesting, man. I love that. And I put this comment from Wings and Mumbo on the screen because this is a perfect example of what I see on what I've seen on Twitter and what you see all the time. So he says the game is dry. I asked this question. I asked the question. I said, you talking about 2K or Madden? So he replies, both. EA refuses to put what we see on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and 2K is kind of dry. Kevin Harlan is dry and old dry. Needs Charles Barkley. There's a couple points I want to hit on here. You sound like a presentation guy, which is fine. It's fine to be a big presentation guy, as am I. I'm presentation and gameplay. But a lot of times when people say, because we've heard this from guys like our guy Luke, when people say, oh man, Madden is trash, they don't da. And a lot of times when you dig into what they're talking about, I notice a lot of people go this route and they talk about the atmosphere, which is great. But my question to people who are like that, so how do you feel about the gameplay? Because I'm wondering, do you think the gameplay is good? Just give me presentation. Or do you feel like both suck? Or, you know what I mean? That's one point. But then the Kevin Harlan thing, that is kind of what you hear in the NBA. Kevin Harlan we hear him on a lot of NBA games. Now, I get if you feel like he's dry, but that's Kevin Harlan. I mean, you don't understand what I'm saying? Like to say, man, y'all need to take Kevin Harlan out. And then
he's not the only commentator, though. That's the thing you got to understand. He ain't the only one in the game, bro.
And as far as Barkley, I mean, again, I don't blame people from not knowing what they don't know, but if anybody has been following, we know why Barkley is not in the game. I mean, he's been advocating over the years why he's not in the game is because he feels like, you know, they should take the money that they would pay him and pay it. I don't want to mess up his exact words, but basically pay that money to like the retired vets and something to that effect. And 2K won't meet him there. So he refuses to be in the game. So again, the reason why I bring that up is because you might be saying, man, they need to have Barkley in the game. Why won't they do that? Well, they've tried. So that's not really on 2K. But then I don't know. I'm kind of on the other side of it when you say that it's dry. I feel what you're saying. Definitely on the Madden side, because don't even get me started. I'm going to talk about that tonight as far as presentation. But I don't know. I mean, I've never really heard many people say that 2K is dry from that standpoint and using the name of Kevin Harlan. So you see my point, Wings and Mumbo? It's like everybody's opinion is different. This is why I just don't get into all of them Twitter debates and people giving other people the finger and cursing them out and, oh, you stupid for playing the game. This game sucks. And other people don't wail the other side. Oh, man, the game is amazing. Everybody likes what they like. That should be the theme of tonight. Whatever you like, play that. Play that. You can give your feedback for a game. Man, I wish this game would get this because I really like that. But all of the, like, the banter going back and forth. Like everybody likes what they like. Because see, a lot of people in the chat here probably disagree with what he said. But I can't take his opinion away from him. But now y'all kind of see where me and Smitty kind of where we are with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I just never seen nobody. I never heard too many people describe it that way in terms of 2K, but I respect it. But yeah, I don't know what you think, Smitty. I mean, you got any comments just on that alone?
I mean, to say that NBA 2K is like, I can understand that argument with Madden because in comparison, it pales in comparison to like what MLB The Show, what NHL has, what FIFA has, what, you know what I mean, what those games have. But no way, shape, form, any of that kind of stuff can I possibly say that about NBA 2K. I'll be lying. There's once again, game has its problems and shortcomings, but man, that game has so much in it. Just playing off default sliders, yes, you could have your gripes, but there's so much. If you have NBA League Pass or you able to get an IPTV, get an IPTV service, even if you're not getting that Jordan, that championship edition. And watch these NBA games. Watch how they are. Actually pay attention to what goes on during those games. And then play NBA 2K and see how they compare. It's not going to be one-to-one, but you're going to see a good amount of what happens in the NBA in 2K.
That is a fact.
And it's there. Like, I mean, I can't deny that. Stuff that I would get mad at and say that's a flaw, that's a bug, that's a glitch. I didn't see players standing around on the court all the time in NBA games. Guys are shooting threes. They ain't even trying to contest. They may put up a hand or just walk, move. If they did that in 2K, this game's broken. And it's like, and I mean, you don't have to know about it, Wings. You know, it's all good, bro. Like, you don't have to know about it. Your opinion versus what actually happens on TV versus what actually happens in the video game. Just like I said, the game will tell on itself. Real life and the video game are 1 and 1. When I'm seeing that happen, I'm not concerned about anyone's opinion. The game is the game, bro. I don't need your opinion at that point. My opinion don't matter either.
Yeah, not at all.
It don't mean nothing at that point. Yo, what's happening in here? That stuff be happening in 2K. What am I gonna do? Well, I'm gonna lie and just front. No, that ain't what's going on. Yeah, okay, all right. So what? So I could keep up a stance or something? No, skip that. No, man, look. And I seen somebody say they need that NBA on NBC feel. I wish that, bruh, if they could get, I know they can't get it, but if they could get the NBA, especially in the 90s, if they could get that NBA on NBC theme or something like that, bro, that would be, I'm through with money. I'm done. I'm telling you, it would be hard for me to play Madden only because of that until Sunday. When Sunday come around and all that stuff, I'm gonna get that itch and want to play Madden because I'm actually enjoying this game. I'm enjoying it so far. I ain't played much, but I'm enjoying it. And dude, you give me that NBA on NBC, goodness, good night. That would be in freaking insane. Especially if they had promos and if they had, because you know they got the little promo in the corner, but it'd be sweet if they had the little like, man, stop. Too many memories, too many Sunday double and triple headers me and my dad will watch and everything. You talking about that, like, and see, it's not just blind nostalgia, it's that you have a decent game that you could rock on. That's the point that I'd be saying. That's what I'm getting at. This stuff, that's being done in 2K is a treat. I love this. I would love to see Madden get to a point where they could do stuff like this. This would be good. I would absolutely love it. That would be, oh my goodness, man. Come on, dude. He said, no, he say gamers these days want everything to be perfect, but there is no perfect game. Listen, there's no perfect game. There will always be a guy like a Ryan Moody in the world. That's why those guys, that's why people like that exist. And they're necessary. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with pointing out flaws, bugs, glitches, etc.
And YouTube is a business, folks. I want y'all to always remember that.
You said what?
YouTube is a business.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, very true. So there's nothing
Angry
wrong
Joe
with that.
gets paid very well to do whatever. I don't know what he's done for 23. I'm just saying.
Right.
Come on, guys. Don't Wolves don't go over these odds. They just don't.
Look. We saw Angry Joe in person. He far from angry. You know what I mean? My man's acting. You know what I mean? Like he may feel passionately, but the thing is, he's getting paid off of him overreacting like that. He did all of that, and yet we saw him at E3 at the EA presentation. If he got all this angst for EA, why would he be there? They're literally showing previews and stuff like that for the games, yet he was there. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, come on. At the end of the day, like, listen, and like what Sim said, this stuff is business. Listen, don't forget, Ryan Moody Ryan Moody liked Madden 12. He even went as far as making somewhat comparisons to NFL 2K5 based off of Madden 12. Madden 23 is way better than Madden 12 was. Gameplay wise, especially. So it's like, you think even with all the flaw videos that he posts, you think he doesn't like Madden 23? I would be shocked if he doesn't.
I don't know. I haven't seen one thing.
I'm not gonna sit up here and say what he does or does not like for certain, but I'm just saying I would be very shocked if he does not like Madden 23 to some capacity. Even though he's doing his thing with his videos, that's him do his thing. But I'm just saying him, not just him, but guys that are of that mentality of EA never does nothing right. Madden ain't never gonna be nothing. It ain't just gonna be blah, 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 blah. Okay, sure. And yet I'm watching all these videos, all these Twitter clips, all this stuff that's showcasing clean gameplay. If you want to make a game look bad, that's easy to do.
Show you something right now.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Cue it up. You know, it's like, but if you want to make a game look bad, that's easy to do. That's the easy part. Praise it. Showcase what the game does right. Showcase all the beauty that it has at the same time. That's why like I said before, that's why I like to stream stuff, because you can see how good, how bad, all that stuff is happening as you're playing the game. There's no dress rehearsal for it. Just play it straight up and see what it got. If it's got good stuff,
them raw clips. Those raw games that I always do, that I put up on the channel, no editing. Here you go. Yeah, you saw my flaws and all, my flaws and everything.
Yeah, and it's okay. Everybody ain't got to be perfect on the stream. It's like, no, I'm just going online showing it. That's it. The game is the game, and you'll see what it has and what it doesn't have. It's as simple as that, y'all. Simple as that. If Madden when I play Madden tomorrow, I ain't using no slider sets, at least not yet. I don't know. We'll see what happens after I play a little bit, but I'm mainly just going to be playing off the raw, just straight up. I want to see what the game is off the cuff before I even think of diving into using any sliders necessarily. I may dabble in something on the stream, but other than that, it's just going to be straight up play, because I want to see how the game runs and plays all on its own. I don't need all that extracurricular. Let me see what it does up front. That's what I did on the beta. I did dabble in some sliders, but still, I want to see what this game offers straight up. I'm gonna do the same thing when NBA 2K come out. I'm gonna play it straight up. I will use a slider set eventually, but I'm gonna play it straight up. I want to see what the game is giving me straight up. And if it's giving me a lot of good stuff, dude, kudos. If there's things they can improve upon, bet. Let's point them all out. That's it.
Oh, almost forgot. I'm going to play the NFL 2K Resurrected stuff as we talk about Madden here.
Yeah. And that's I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sim.
I was just going to say, and the only reason why we're showing it, guys, is last week I posed a question. Matter of fact, hold on, let me pause it because I want to do it from the beginning. I posed a question to people, and just like I did with Wings here, some people are just heavy on presentation, which is great. I am too. Y'all, actually, the franchise video that I'm going to release tonight after the show, I say it in there that, dog, Madden's presentation just needs an overhaul. But a lot of times when I say, no, tell me on the field what makes these games the king, just on the field. Most people can't. They will always say, oh, man, well, the franchise mode was so deep. Oh, man, I'm with you there. That's not what we're talking about. Because I always want to know where people are coming from. When I could literally tell you what I liked about an APF that I may not like as much in a Madden game. I can literally point these things out. I could tell you what I like in Madden right now over 2K8. I can tell you that. I don't have to just use the generic, man, the game is trash. Man, that joint ain't, man, that was the king. Well, but why? So that's why I'm showing this, because, again, the main thing that people say, Smitty, is, oh, the gameplay is repetitive and Madden, it's the same, this is the same. Dog, that's all you get in them 2K games. As far as animation and all that, dog, it's just, those were the times then. I'm not blaming those games, but those games were what they were then. And it's scripted. The same flaws that you may have seen in Madden. Now, why some of that stuff is still around? Great question. But they're in 2K. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put that as a backdrop, and we'll just look at some of this stuff. But yeah, man, it's just interesting, Smitty, with Madden, because it's one of those things, man. You know, I started doing this. My sole purpose for making YouTube videos when I began way back in the day was to showcase nice football moments happening in a video game. My very first video was of Madden 10. I can't remember who I was playing with. I think it was the Eagles. I might have been playing against them, but I remember, and it might have been Macklin or somebody like that. But I posted a video saying, whoa, this is a nice touch. How he ducked under the defender's arm. And I was like, that's nice. The very next video, I started showcasing things that I didn't like in Madden, where I needed them to improve. I would like to see the game do this. I would like to see the game do that. That started a run of me posting all pro football. Y'all want to know why I posted those videos? Y'all want to know the real secret? Because right now, people are, pumping all pro football so much. But me and Smitty have been around a long time. Y'all want to know why I started using that game in particular? Not only because of the gameplay, but nobody bought that game. People didn't even know it existed. They didn't even know. So when I made my videos on 2K way back then, I was like, yo, this is a game that a lot of people never played, but dog, it has this, and this. And I went on a long run of showing 2K, right? And my whole point was to say, hey, EA, y'all got to match this. Y'all are the only company in the business. And that's how we started. Fast forward to me and Smitty get invited to EA. We learn how the inner workings work not just the game, but we learned how the business works there. We was like, oh, so y'all do know what to do. And over time, we got knowledgeable. We were made aware of. Of course, our approach is different in terms of I'm not rah-rah no more. Like, why is this? What? We didn't have to do that no more because we knew exactly why. Then it became we were just giving feedback, critical feedback, man. Like, y'all got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do. And that's where we have been for what, Smitty? The last, I'm going to estimate. We've been that for at least the last 7 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Giving the critical feedback, being hard on them, but we're not Angry Joe because we know who pulls the strings. We know what it's gonna take because we've been there. We know how long it would take literally for EA to even resemble all of that depth that 2K has. So this is just the approach because we know. But I say all that to lead me into this whole Madden stuff. And hold on, let me share the video. 1 second. And then we just gonna talk Madden and how we feel about Madden 23. And where are you, Madden? 2K. There you go. This is for all you 2K5 lovers. There you go. So this is the thing. Without a doubt, I feel personally, Madden 23. Man, I'm going to say something outlandish that some of y'all are going to say, what? Some of y'all might agree. From an overall gameplay standpoint, this might be the best Madden I've ever played. I'm just talking about gameplay on the field. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about interactions, physics, player movement, passing mechanic, zone logic, better defense, the defense being at a state to where it's at, man, all of that. Is that saying that the game is perfect? No, it is not. There's still things that I need. Listen, the offensive line, let me say this. I don't think it's as bad as how some Twitter people are talking. I don't. I got plenty of plays where I got time in the pocket and everything. I think the trenches are a little balanced. However, I need a cycle dedicated to the trenches. I want to see just they got to dive in there, man, and make it just gritty. Like they have to make weight and momentum be a main factor. Leverage, all of that. Like a dude like Aaron Donald, in my world, how I envision it, should be able to eat because of his stature. That's why Aaron Donald's so good. Because he's not 6'7". This dude is like, what, 6'1", and solid and quick as a mouse, like, and he has the low leverage, and that's why he beats dudes up and strong as an ox. I want that stuff to start really mattering in the game, and not it not being because it's a super win animation or whatever. Because again, I understand it. Most games got some type of structured animation. We all know that. But what I'm saying is, even if you're gonna do that, now I want you to start working more on what Clint and them said. They want a world, and Madden 23 is proof of it. You're seeing it. They want a world where they can marry the two. Again, not patting myself on the back, but I will do it a little bit. It's something I've been saying for years. Why don't y'all just find a way to marry that concept? Have a boatload of animations, but allow physics to augment the outcome. Smitty knows that. We've been saying that forever. 23 is going down that road, so keep doing that. But in doing so, make it to where guys like Aaron Donald, because of his physical physique, is creating a matchup nightmare for a dude like Steelers fans. Y'all would know this. And he doesn't play anymore. He retired. But Alejandro Villanueva. Aaron Donald would give him fits. Oh, no, I'll give y'all a better one that most of y'all even saw that might not even be Steelers fans. James Harrison used to smoke Eric Fisher's boots for the Chiefs. He just couldn't do nothing with James Harrison because he was so short and squatty and strong. And Fisher was so big, he just couldn't do nothing with him. That's what I'm talking about. We need the trenches to be that. Like, matchups need to really matter. Like, imagine I'm playing Smitty, right, in a league, and Smitty got these dogs, pass rushers, and he know I got a weak right tackle. He might take his beast that usually lines up on the right side of the defense, and he put him on the other side because he know he gonna take advantage of my weak link. That's what I'm talking about. So the trenches are nowhere near where I would like them to be, but guess what? None of these games had that. Look at this. Look at this clip. None of them had that. Yep. 2K8 didn't. And that's where I get lost sometimes with the over criticism of how, oh, man, that game is so bad. That's why I play 2K5. Well, what you're complaining about doesn't happen in 2K either. Oh, look at that. Oh, whoa, hold on. Let me back that up. Y'all saw that? Let's watch this next play. Maybe I'm crazy. Hold on. I'm gonna pause for a moment. Maybe I'm mistaken in what I think I saw. Hold on. What happened on that right side right there? Maybe I'm bugging. Oh, okay. He looped around. All right, that's cool. Yeah. That's cool. I just caught it out the side of my eye. But anyway, y'all know what I'm saying. And I'm not even trying to compare the two games. I'm just saying the same problems that we talk about happens in these games. It happens in 2K5 and it happens in 2K8. So you miss me with that conversation of that's why this is better than that. How? How is it in between the lines? Give me some facts. Player movement ain't better. DB and wideout interactions is not better. Some people might say, well, the AI is better. Well, yeah, I don't know, because you can exploit these games too. So you understand what I'm saying, guys? That's the point where I'm coming from when I speak on these things. I don't do that comparison thing. I don't care which game is. I want the best game. That's it. I don't have an attachment to a company. I don't have a disdain for a company. I'm sitting here hoping that whatever NFL 2K product comes out that's supposed to come out this year blows us away. That's what I'm hoping for. But again, as you watch this, I want people to really just tell me where this game is just, blows the doors off it. Madden 23. And I literally want to understand it. Like, I'm not trying to say, oh, Madden killed. I want to know what you guys are seeing that me and Smitty didn't see when we played all of these games, backbreaker included. We know every last one of these games in and out. So that's all I'm saying. But anyway, let's get back to Madden real quick, and then I throw it to Smitty. I'm having a good time playing the game so far. Will that change in a few months? I hope not. Can't wait till we start our league so I can see how sim-minded guys play this game. Probably jump out on the lobby this weekend. See how, I like to go out there just to see what people are doing and see what's cheese and if I can stop it. I was able to do so in the beta against a lot of guys, but you're always going to find something. I want to know why so many people, Smitty, are saying this game doesn't feel nowhere near the beta. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Guys, somebody said it earlier here in the chat that, okay, wait, somebody says logic is where it sets apart. Who said that? Cornbread TV. Which one you referring to? He says, and player interaction, it was set 2K and Madden apart. Madden has the movement just because it's had time to improve. Okay, so I'm asking. I'm not challenging. Where does 2K excel in your opinion with the player interactions? Because I'm here to tell y'all they're all scripted. That's the only point I'm making. I'm not trying to make, listen, I played a ton of 2K5. I went away from Madden even back then when this came out. I loved this game because of the depth, the presentation. It just felt it was a different feel. All I be wanting to know is people's thought process, because I like to have dialogue instead of arguing with someone. No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. It's just a matter of preference. That's why I'm showcasing this game. I respect Rate Sports and all of those guys who just say, I just prefer this brand of football. That's a perfect answer. So I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to the people who were all in my timeline. I'm not talking to them. They feel like they have to come tell me why 2K5 is so, and I'm like, dog, some of the same problems existed. See what we got. Round of applause to Heavy Mayo. Let me throw it out there. And I promise, guys, we're going to move forward in just a moment. I know I'm rambling. My bad. I feel the game is a little faster than the beta, and the animation is not as smooth as the beta. I saw next level physics and animation in the beta. And again, guys, these are opinions. I don't know if I feel a difference yet. Now, maybe it's just my experience. Because I have seen some people say it's worlds apart. And I'm like, really? I haven't felt that. But I respect that. Boom. This right here, too. I play all games, all consoles. Never understood the tribalism in game. Dog, this is what I'm trying to tell you. I don't even know why we always have to have these debates. But anyway, let me get back to the point, and I'm going to throw it to Smitty. And I might even take it off the screen here, man, because it's not about 2K5. But I think the gameplay in Madden is the best that it's been. I do feel like franchise it's still just, it's not enough. It's not enough. It does not feel immersive enough. And at this point, it's not so much of the missing features. Of course, there's a ton of features that we would want in franchise, but even the ones that are in the game, it seems like, and I'm going to make an independent video about this. They seem so basic, bare. Like, even, dog, I'm going to make a video called The Little Things. It's the little things that's already in the game that you could blow out the water. Like the scenario engine. Why is it so basic? Why is it that, do y'all ever feel like the scenarios affect gameplay? Never. Right. Nope. And it's like, come on. By now, we should have 300 scenarios. Stuff that whoa. And and it actually impacts the game. Little stuff like that. Like little stuff with the contracts. Like, why can't you front load and back load still? It's like these minor things. So even those things don't make it. There's not enough to me going on off the field that makes me feel like I have to do these things. Like, I want to feel when I don't scout, when I don't practice, when I don't give my guys rest. Like one of those scenarios, hey, we have a short week. I want to see what happens if I don't do that. You know what I mean? It's those things, man, that's still tough, but I get it. I get it. The game is so far behind, man. I'm just happy that gameplay is where I think where the gameplay is at right now. Don't touch nothing. Shout outs to Problem. I saw Problem tweet that. He said, yo, no patching. And I was like, no, that's big coming from that community. Fix whatever's a bug or anything that's aesthetics. Don't go tinkering with anything. keep this foundation and build from this. Bring this game back to a point where it's widely respected as a great game. You're not there yet. But those are my light comments now, man. I mean, we haven't had a ton of time with the game, but to me, I personally don't feel like it took a step back from the beta. I haven't felt that yet. Love skill-based passing. It has completely changed the way I play the game. And yeah, we'll just see what happens going forward. But like I said, right now, this is not me or Smitty or anybody else coining this as the greatest game on earth. No, I don't understand why it's always got to be that when we're talking about Madden. Like we should put these games in their proper context. Madden is a game that the community needs to see get back to greatness. So let's watch what it does every year. 2K, on the other hand, is a game that widely is recognized as the best basketball game in the business with depth and gameplay. What else are they going to do? You can throw MLB in the show in that box. You see what I'm saying? And that's how it should be. When Modern Warfare 2 comes out, put that in its box. Put Battlefield 2042 in its box. And that's how we all should approach this as gamers. Y'all feel me? Like 2K here. I love this game for what it was. I just can't play it now. That's all. That's all. So I know I've been rambling. My bad, man. But I'm gonna throw it to Smitty. Do your thing.
No, I mean, like right now I'm playing in practice. Played in practice mode a little bit. I mean, look. So far, I can say that it's comparable to the beta. I can't truly say as of yet, like, give an overall in terms of the game.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, excuse me, like when I stream it, then I'll be able to say a whole lot more. I can't really say right now. I'm not sure. I mean, playing that legacy game, that Madden game, it's hard really to say what's, you're not going to get much out of that game because both teams are pretty much equal. I mean, I had some nice looking plays though. Don't get me wrong, and I had some organic stuff. I had Barry Sanders literally squeezed between a defender and O lineman doing an interaction, and he squeaked between to avoid a tackle on a screenplay because he stood in his spot and then he just squeaked between the O and D lineman interacting, dumped the ball off to him right as I got hit, and he took it in for a 76-yard touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was playing it, and something Madden has to get. You got to be able to see every replay.
Oh, God. That too. What's up with the broken replays, man?
Yeah, you can only pick two. Like it's like the game picks the replays that you can watch, and that's it. It's not always based upon the score that they give the play. Like I said, it only allowed me to watch the CPU's final drive, two plays, which were both, one was a pass breakup, the other one was a tackle for a loss on the run play. That's it. Barry Sanders' run, I could not watch that screenplay touchdown. I couldn't even watch that because I don't have the option. That's stuff that you have to have. You have to have that in the game. So no, listen. Is it feeling good to me so far? Yes. Am I enjoying it so far? Yes. You know what I mean? Like, dude, this is the stuff that we've been battling about, excuse me, for the longest time. This is what we wanted. We wanted to see Madden actually come up for a change. And they have. The player movement in this game is the best in a football game.
By far.
That I could definitely say by far. If you want to make an argument, you could argue with Backbreaker. That's it. And I'm saying you can make an argument. And in some cases, you could probably make a valid one. But even then, the player movement and backbreaker, it's rigid to a degree. You don't have that rigid stuff like that in Madden. It's cleaner. I've seen people tweet some plays where they literally put the brakes on and cut it. I mean, stutter step, slow down, change direction, and cut that sucker upfield for a touchdown. Evaded 2-3 defenders. Why? Because of the way he cut up. And it's legit footwork. What you want me to get mad at that? And say, oh, I shouldn't be able to do that. If it was 2K, stop. Stop it. If football is happening in the game, football is happening in the game. Give it its credit. These passing plays that are happening, the passing that I'm seeing happen, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's nuts to see. And he said, what did the artist say? He said, it should be the best 23. Yeah, it should. And unless you're trying to put that subliminally with MJ, because it says it should be the best. But outside of that, the point, you know what I'm saying? Like 23 is an MJ. You know what I mean? If you mean it like that, it should be the best in that sense. But either way, it should be, though. You are right, though. It should be the best by far. But think about it. People have old games. For example, you got people that still say like NBA 2K16 is the best one out of the 2K series today. You see what I'm saying? Some people will go as far back. They'll go back to 360 days and say NBA 2K14 is the best game that they played still this day, as far as how core gameplay functions and things like that. See what I'm saying? So while we all sit up here and say the most recent iteration should be the best, you're right, it should be the best. But sometimes there are things done in the past that are, somewhat better than or completely better than what's currently put out. But Madden 23, enjoying it. 2K, like people talking about the 2K animations. Yes, 2K has the better animations, and in some cases the better the pass trajectory depending upon the QB. Like Dan Marino was unique, unlike any other quarterback in that game, because of how he delivered the ball in APF. I mean, when I say this. So yeah, 2K I will still give it to 2K's pass controls, pass trajectories, and passing styles.
Yeah,
and I'll give them that to this day.
You didn't have to use no trigger for their passing.
Exactly. So I will give them that all day. But other than that, don't give me the trenches stuff. And I see people man, I'm seeing the same play happen multiple times off the edge. Okay, cool. I got you. Same animation. I got you. I get it. I feel you. Excuse me. This is like I said when I did my conversation in spaces on Twitter over last weekend. Madden APF, I just want to say this real quick, trench talk. We talked about this in the past, but I will say this here. APF has a great trench that plays out with great consistency because it's vanilla in the nature of how it functions. And for those y'all think about play NFL 2K5 or APF. Because remember, in NFL 2K5, you could at least shift your D-line around. You could shift them left, shift them right, pinch. You could spread them even further than the default. APF, you couldn't even do that. And remember, you're picking what your D-line is going to do prior to snap. I mean, in the play call screen. That's it. You can't audible your D end, your D tackle. You can't do none of that. So if you say they're gonna pinch, guess what they're gonna do? Pinch. If they're gonna pinch, if they're gonna fan left, or razor left, razor right, if they're gonna do a stunt on the left side, a stunt on the right, or both sides, you're gonna see a stunt. That's what they're gonna do. And when your O-line and D-line play has no kind of uniqueness to it, there's not the room for the margin for error is not going to be nearly as great because it's uniform. That's it. It's not uniform like that in Madden. In Madden, you could literally say my right D end is going to contain, my left D end is going to spy, and I'm going to have one of my D tackles fall into a hook zone, and I'm just going to rush the one defender, the one D tackle. You could do all that. And the O-line is supposed to pick it all up logically. NBA 2K will act out and dumb out if you play illogical basketball. When you do illogical basketball stuff, how come it doesn't pick everything up accordingly? 2K is one of the best out here to do it. See, when it's Madden, they're supposed to just get it. But when it's somebody else, that pass comes in. No, it's the same thing. Same problem. See? The same problem. Madden, you could come out wearing the wrong outfit, and sometimes you could pull it off. Other times you're gonna look crazy. APF, you literally wearing the same khaki pants, and you only got 3 shirts to choose from, 3 colors. They're the same polo tee, but just 3 different colors. So we know what you're coming with, basically. There ain't much variety to you because it's confined to a box, what you're going to be able to do. It's just instead of it being a little small box, it's a bigger box, slightly bigger. That's the only difference. Madden, they give you a whole sandbox of stuff you could do. I'm going to do all this crazy stuff with the D-line, and then I'm going to do this stuff with the secondary. But the game's supposed to react logically at all times. I'm going to make these adjustments and things like that even in the NFL they don't make. But the game's supposed to respond logically at all times. What do you think happens when people complain that do cheesy stuff in NHL or MLB or NBA 2K or FIFA? Do the same thing. So that's all I'm saying, man, at the end of the day. Y'all, you gotta understand that it happens with everybody. It's not excusing anything with Madden because Madden is a game that's far behind, but I'm keeping it a stack bundle. Like what Sim and I said, this could be a legit foundation for these cats to absolutely build upon. But we gotta wait and see. We gotta wait and see how it plays out, how this game acts and reacts. What gets nerfed and what doesn't. What gets built and expanded upon. We got to see what happens. You know, like what, how much impact is this game going to take negatively over the course of this year because of title updating? And yes, I firmly agree with Sim. I retweeted it out there too. When Problem said, don't touch the game. Don't touch the game. Let the game breathe. Like, you gotta let it breathe. When you got your turning pros and stuff like that saying, hey, yo, leave this game alone, man. That's saying a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's saying a whole heck of a lot. Especially from an OG of that end of the spectrum. That's saying a lot, man. Leave it alone. Let this game actually breathe and be something, man. So that's what they got. That's exactly what they got to do. They gotta let this game breathe, man. Seriously, let this game breathe. Let this game catch its legs, actually build up, fix bugs outside of anything legitimately buggy. That's it. Don't tamper with it. Make people get used to it. Make people evolve their skill sets. Make people have to approach the game differently. That's what Madden can do if you keep on innovating. You just got to put your head down and just do the work. Well, if they're allowed to do it. But that's really all I got. Like, that's really my take right now at this point. Until, I play some more, further notice? No, this is where I'm at right now.
Yeah. And really, like, my take too, man, is really my main point of this. Play what you like, man. You know, it's always weird to me when Madden comes out and I just look at Twitter and I be in the background. Y'all notice I don't comment. It's so funny, man, how you have people on both sides of the spectrum and nobody can agree to the fact that, oh, word, okay, if you like that, cool. Oh, word, if you don't like that, cool. That's the weirdest part to me. You know, it's the weirdest thing to me. You know, like y'all, somebody wrote here in the chat that, you know, people being called out as being sellouts and all. It's weird. Like, are people still doing that? Like, what do these people owe anybody at the end of the day? Let's assume that every last one of the big content creators were quote unquote sellouts and they getting a bag. So what? So why does that matter to me? Why does that matter to me? Y'all feel me? And that's just where I'm at with it, man, nowadays. What don't matter to me, don't matter to me. What ain't my business, ain't my business. And I refuse to get into a feud over a video game, dog. Like, why should I care? And I understand people are going to say, well, Sim, you know, because we want the best game. And I feel you, but do your part. Stop worrying about what this next man is doing. That's really what happened to this whole Sim community. That's why I was like, y'all got it, boy. Because I'm not cut from that cloth. Like, that's not my nature to be beef. I don't, dog. That ain't how I get down. So I just had to be like, man, y'all got it. Y'all got it. It don't mean that much to me at the end of the day. I play video games. I want the best games to play, but if a game never gets where I think it needs to be, y'all know I used to be a COD head. Oh, I was Call of Duty heavy. But all of a sudden, man, y'all remember it went through that run where I just won't feel in the game. And I let it be. I left it alone. That was it. I don't get into the wars about Call of Duty versus Battlefield. But guess what? Modern Warfare 2, looking like people are saying that might be the one. So I'm going to play it. And if it is, I'm going to play it. But if it ain't for me, it ain't for me. I just don't, honestly, and again, I'm not trying to be preachy or nothing like that. I don't get the investment of time that some people put in beefing, not even disagreeing, beefing with other people about a game or a preference or an opinion. Ain't worth it, man. So if y'all looking for that from me, you ain't gonna get it. And like I said, I see people. Matter of fact, I'll give y'all a little not a private story, but a story I had offline. I see people going at Eric Rayweather all the time, right? Always going after him. Oh man, you a sellout, blah 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 blah, right? And my man, I don't know if you guys saw it, but my man posted a picture of his backyard a little while, a couple of days or so ago. He's saying first part of the yard done. He got the basketball court, got the pool and all that. And y'all hit him and I said, yo, dog, every time you go to war with one of these dudes, I want you to just go into your backyard and ask yourself if you care. And he wrote back to me and said, man, you know what? That's real talk. Dog, who cares? Who cares? What chumps is saying? Like, who cares? Live your life. You have built that channel to be what it is, and now you got some bread in your pocket, real money. You know what I'm saying? So anybody out there calling people sellouts and all that, y'all already miss me with that, man. Because I'm like, Y'all trying to equate life to dog. Come on, man. Y'all need to cut it out. That's why, again, some of these people who are so overly like, dog, y'all see how fast my man Soft Drink grew his channel? Why wouldn't he continue to do what he do? That's his people come to him to do what he does. Now, I can't say I'm speaking for him, but do you ever hear me talk about him and how, he's always negative about a game or any game? It ain't just Madden. No, because I already know what time it is. Y'all feel me? It's like, I know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me going off on a tangent. It's like, we worry about the wrong stuff. If I like the game and you don't, just let it be that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so, I don't know, man. My man Podcast Zone, he says, I'm 40 years old and I'm old to care what people, I'm too old to care about what people think. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird, man. It is weird. Very weird. Somebody says weirdo mentality. Yeah, man. But you know what? Hold on. Somebody said, talking about Soft Drink. Nah, Cal Golden, I wouldn't say that though. Because again, I understand what he's doing. And you can't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get it. It's just, I'll give y'all another quick example. Some people hate Stephen A. Smith, right?
All right, I'm back, Sim. Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I'll give y'all another quick example. Some people hate Stephen A. Smith, but because of the way he talks and he's so, that's blasphemy and all. They hate all of that. But don't y'all know that he knows when he goes on TV, he has to cut on the Stephen A. You know what I mean? When he ain't on TV, he's probably Steve. We don't know that guy. Now you can have your opinion, right? You can say, that ain't my, you know what I mean? That ain't my lane. I don't really want to listen to him. Fine. But for me to say, oh, I hate that. Oh, every time and here's where it gets even trickier, Smitty. Every time he's on TV, people quick to, they on the keyboard. Every time. Even with my little channel, every time I post something about Madden, that's what it sounds like. I know y'all can hear that.
Yeah, keyboard warrior.
I'm like, but why are you here every time? I'm confused. So you must really be into this. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And again, I didn't mean to go down that road, but that's the facts of it. Stephen A. is sometimes that's just a character. He's doing that, and he makes an excess of 10 million a year being Stephen A. You understand what I'm saying? So don't go falling victim to these YouTube personalities and acting like you know these cats. And dog, they doing it for a reason. Same reason why I have been who I have been this whole time, because I don't play those games. I know the YouTube game. I know how to very easily blow up. But to do what I would need to do, that ain't me. I can't do nothing that ain't naturally me. Because if I gotta act, content ain't gonna be great. You know what I mean? That's just not me. Some people can do that. I can't. But we know how the YouTube formula works. But that's why I choose to just be what I am. I ain't playing all them clown games. That's just me. And I'm not calling nobody clown. I'm just saying to me, that's goofy. I don't do the goofy. Like, that come out here and suck it and, nah, can't do it. But again, for those who have built this persona and they make a lot of money doing it, round of applause. You won't hear me say anything bad about it. But yeah, that's how I feel about the whole thing, man. Yeah. If you hate Madden, don't play it. That would be my advice. Don't buy it until it's for you. You feel me?
If
this ain't the one, don't buy it.
You know, that's the same freaking thing we say all the dang on time. If this ain't your cup of tea, don't mess with it. You don't like listen. If a if a vegan doesn't like eating meat, stop serving them steak. Don't go to the steakhouse. You know what I'm saying? Stick to your lane. Like go to your lane. Like what was it? What was it that mad scientists would say all the time?
Oh yeah, find your
Be in your
fishbowl and swim in
fishbowl.
it.
Yeah. If your fishbowl is NFL 2K5, listen. If you want to be like Lost Soul and post NFL 2K5 clips all day and say this don't happen in Madden when it literally does, go for it. Knock yourself out. Because that's what you want to rock with. And I mean, unfortunately, he has done that. Like he's done that a few times. And it's like, sadly, he's wrong, but that's his opinion. He feels that way about you feel that way about your game. That's the way you feel. I'm not gonna get mad at you over it. What the heck I gotta do with that? Just like I told Hollywood, man, leave Moody alone, man. I know he get mad at him and anything like that. I said, leave that man alone. Let Moody do what he do. You do what you do. You know what I'm saying? You call out the flaws as you call them out, but you enjoy playing Madden. Just enjoy it and have fun and play it. Don't sweat all that. Don't sweat all that extra stuff. Listen, people want to boo-hoo and get mad and everything. A lot of these same people that boo-hoo and get mad are going to be the same people owning the game. A lot of them own it. A lot of them got this game in early access. You think they all going to jump on Twitter and tell the truth? No. I bet you earlier today, some of these people trying to get a code, I bet you they were 2 steps away from recording themselves doing that dance. What is it? The gritty?
Hey, let me tell you something.
I'm telling you, look.
I bet not catch y'all. None of y'all doing that, yo. Don't play yourself like that. Please don't do that.
I'm telling you, these cats look, man, listen. A lot of these cats that will sit up here and get on and say how this game ain't about nothing. Let EA say cold season happening. Oh man, look, man. Let me tell you. See what happened was my cat died, my dog died, and everything broke. All I got is no internet, but I could get this code and I can use my phone's Wi-Fi capability to download it. If you just please give me a code, please, EA. Like all that begging and pleading. These cats got every sob story to tell as soon as these dudes ready to give a code out. But all year, oh man, Madden ain't gonna be about nothing. But okay, but you a charity case as soon as these dudes ready to talk about these codes.
Don't make me show my DMs, y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. I have had people literally say, man, you know how I get down, but I got to get on it so I can tear it up. Some of these people, I'm not naming no names, but dog, if I was to see, y'all better be glad I ain't that type of cat. Boy, if I was to show y'all some of these people, soon as codes come around, like Smitty said, whether it's a beta code, EA play code, they hitting you in the DM. Hey man, you know, brother. So it's all good. Nah, it ain't. You cool. I leave you right on red, brother.
Yeah, and it's all good because we know this comes around every single year. It happens all the time. It doesn't matter. The key thing is, listen, when you fire that game up, are they taking the proper strides to get the game better? That's what matters. And they've shown that with that Madden beta. And from what I'm at least playing at this point, they're showing it. That's it. That's it. That's what matters the most.
It's got a
if
long
the game
way to go.
is on point. Yeah, and that's exactly, and we said this already. They got a long way to go. But if they take serious strides like this for the next 2, maybe 3 games, we talking it's a whole different conversation. It's a whole different conversation at that point. But they gotta be consistent with it, and that's the key thing. But we gotta wait and see what ends up happening. That's it. That's it. I want to see what happens with this game. I want to see how this game turns out and comes up. I seriously hope that it does elevate. I seriously hope that whatever title updates are done or tunings or whatever, it doesn't take this game down to the toilet bowl. That's what I seriously hope, because I don't want to be like, man, this game had a lot of good stuff going on, and then all these title updates and screwed it up. And then what? And then I can't take solace anymore in pass controls and stuff like that because the game got messed with, or hit everything gets watered down, or freaking the player movement feels hindered because they sped something up or they tampered with something because people complained. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to see core elements of this game get spayed and neutered because folk don't want to evolve. Like you have to evolve the game, man. You have to. That's the only way these games come up at the end of the day, especially with Madden. I want to see this game elevate. So, hey, we'll just have to wait and see, man.
Gonna be interesting for the dudes who, like, some of them dudes gonna learn how to like really use like Mo. Mo is sick with it with the passing. I'm slowly but surely getting there. I ain't quite dope with it yet, but because you just got to get your top guys, get into practice. Get in practice mode. Don't try to be the macho man and I'm just going right out there and I'm going to play this. No. Go get in that practice environment, bro, and practice that skill-based passing. Because it's all about timing. And like I said, one of the things that I kind of noticed in the beta and probably here too is pay attention to the throwing motion, right? So when you hit the trigger, you could use the left stick to move that reticle until the throwing motion is complete. And that's where I really learned how to use it, practicing goal line fades. That's when I was able to say, oh, okay. Because at first, this is what I was doing. Let me see if I can demonstrate. I was doing this at first, right? I would hit the button, and I was doing it all in one motion. Like left and boom, the icon. But don't do that. Because if you start holding it down that early, you're going to move it way over because it's still moving until that throwing motion is done. So what you kind of want to do is do the icon press and like right after you've hit the button, then adjust like you got time to then move it to the spot. And once you get that timing down, you'll be able to do it. Because I promise you at first, you're going to be sailing balls like way out of bounds. Because until you get that timing down, yeah. What did he say? Already out there and he already out there online. Yeah, man. You gotta get that timing down. Oh, I did want to comment here on what King Arthur said. He says, Sim and Smitty, how would you make the scenario engine directly affect gameplay on and off the field? It's so many different ways, man, but I'll give you a perfect example of one that I think we all can identify. There's a scenario, and I'm sure it's still in here because I'm sure they just copied and pasted from last year. You know the scenario that tells you it's weather. It's going to be a weather game, and you got to decide, whether you want to run or pass. It don't matter. It has no effect when we get on that field. So what I would do is whatever we decide, we should see a direct correlation to that scenario. Case in point, this is how you could build around it. Let's say we decide, yeah, man, we might want to run. Now, what if we put on certain equipment that gives us a little better traction in the snow? What if that week there's some type of prep that we can rep, right? Maybe a blocking technique for wet fields or something like that, where I physically have to do something off the field, like practice mode or whatever, repping these situations and wearing the proper equipment, and I have a game plan. Don't even get me started, guys, like with playbooks and all of that. I'm going to tell you right now, the competitive guys would hate what I'm about to say, but they play different. I'm only talking about franchise, right? What if you had to, you know how now you have the tab that says game plan? What if you could only choose plays from your game plan? Every week, I got to decide how I'm going to approach Smitty and the Lions if I have to play him. I can't go in there with my whole playbook. I have a game plan based off of their defense, their offense, et cetera, et cetera. So now that we know it's going to be raining somewhere or snow, I got to build the game plan to match which way I choose to attack. And I have to prep it like with the plays and practice repping those plays. I could go so far with how in-depth I want franchise mode to be for those who choose to do that. Because the alternative to that would be allow people to turn that off. Allow people to put it on auto. That's the alternative. And you see, that's just one scenario, King Arthur, how deep my mind can go. So let's say I choose to pass. Well, guess what's going to happen? We get out on the field, and it's a little bit of rain, but then it really starts pouring. And because we decided we was going to do a passing attack this whole week, our playbook is heavy pass. We only got a few runs. Now we're limited. Now the ball is affected more because it's wet. Maybe we didn't come to the game with gloves. See, it's so many different ways that simple scenario you can build and branch off of that. But again, that level of depth and all of that, it starts with gameplay first. Because the gameplay would have to be able to support these things. So that's why, to some degree, I don't want to say I'm not upset at the state of Madden, but it was essential for them to at least make a game that has this type of gameplay to start with and build on top of this. Then start including all of the features and things that you can build from the gameplay. And then we now we talking. Now presentation, let me get closer to the camera. No excuse, EA. You should be able to build presentations should be out of this world where maybe it makes us look past some of the lack of depth in franchise or whatever gameplay woes we got. Because you could do those two things together. I understand if you say, oh, it's going to take a long time to build all of that stuff in franchise mode, all of the stuff Deuce Douglas had on his docket, which, he's with EA now. Sure, he took his docket with him. But I don't want to hear that you can't do gameplay and presentation. Come on, man. Come on. It's dry. It is. Now that part is dry. Because we talked about being dry earlier in the show. That part is beyond dry. But that's just the little things, man, that the game just needs. It's just time for them to turn it up, man. I don't really know what else to say, man. It's already 10 o'clock. I guess we can go ahead and wrap up here. They just need to turn up the heat. They need to put forth a real effort yearly. We should be able to walk away every year like some of us are walking away early, quote unquote. I got to say we're doing it early for Madden 23, how we're feeling about, man, some work got put into. This has to be the sentiment from here on out. Period. Like, I'm not even going to use the terminology of, man, I hope they, no. Forget all of that. It ain't no hope. They have to do that. Because little do y'all know, what that news 2K dropped today about the MyNBA Eras and all of that, or My Eras, whatever they calling it, dog. I hope for sure somebody from franchise is pounding the table over there at EA now. Like, look, man, we got to go after all of that stuff that we know we need for this game. We focused on polishing gameplay in 23. We got to keep doing that. But now you got to start bringing all of this stuff together. Because I'm sorry, franchise got very little upgrades. And, you know, I'm not an engineer. I don't know how this stuff works. But again, I've been in that building long enough to know there are separate teams for each area. There's a gameplay team. There's an audio team, presentation team, franchise team. Me personally, I don't see why you can't do all of those things and build them all up together in the same cycle. Even if you told me, hey, man, in 2 years, this game is going to be da-da-da-da-da. But next year, we're going to do this with gameplay, this with franchise, this with presentation. And then year 2, we're going to do this with gameplay, this with presentation, this with franchise. It should never be, in my opinion, we should never walk away from any game that's in the position that Madden is in and feel like one area of the game got shorted. That's just my opinion, man. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you at this point.
I just don't. I don't know, man. It ain't no need of me even entertain. I just don't. Like, I don't get these type of comments, Keith Turner. I just don't understand that. Like, who cares, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think this is the point where
those comments. I mean,
that's why I'm at in life. Who cares, dog?
Look,
I ain't giving my money, but I don't care about what anybody else did with their money.
That's every company, dude. So when you go out and you go get, if you got a car and you go get gas, what you gonna say? I ain't giving this gas station my money. Okay. And when you go buy a game, what? I ain't gonna give Activision. Activision ain't getting my money. I ain't giving them a sale. This company ain't getting that money. This company ain't get, bruh. You giving somebody money every single day. Or if not every day, at least when you make those financial decisions, you're giving money to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
And that ship has sailed. That ship of saying that there's enough people that ain't gonna buy Madden to affect their numbers. Please. I'm sorry.
That ain't happening, bro.
It ain't gonna happen.
No.
We are a small minority, folks, that are very passionate and are very meticulous about what we want in a football or sports game. I'm not even gonna just say football. We are a very small minority. And if y'all don't believe that, hey, if you don't believe that, I got an oceanfront property in Alaska that I'll sell you for $2.
You
like,
stupid.
Dog, come on, man. Like, let's just be real for a moment. We small. A lot of people love this game. Love it. Think about even in the NFL. I'll give you this last example, and then we can get out of here. How many NFL players you see say they hate Madden? A few, right? That's all the proof you need right there. Even them guys who play the game. There's only a small handful of the guys that you see come out saying, "Oh, the game trash." And then look, a little portion of that only said because of the ratings. So when you really dig down and find out which guys just hate the game like we do as far as gameplay, it's very little. So that's what I'm saying, is that ship has sailed. Now, I'm not going to say the name of this new game because I don't want to put that type of juju on it. But let's say it was a brand new game starting from scratch. Okay, this NFL 2K arcade game. Enough of us, the small minority, has the power to kill a game like that.
Right.
If it's not good. Because it's in the state of inception. You know, it's not. Madden is way too far for that, man. Way too far.
I just want to just say this real quick. There was 108 people in here now, but it was 107 earlier. I just did that times $70, the price of the game. So basically, let's just say if everybody in this chat here that's listening to this bought Madden retail, just regular copy of Madden, that's $7,490. You think they ain't gonna make that ultimate and back in ultimate team money off of 3, maybe 4 customers? You see what I'm saying? These people are chomping at the bit to buy bundles. They can't wait to buy $100 bundles and stuff like that. EA make that money back in a few minutes off of a few people that have copies. We sitting up here talking about we ain't trying to get down with Ultimate Team, and that would be basically $7,500 if we all just bought the game and just said, nope, we're just playing franchise mode and everything is going to be, if we earning it through free to play. Okay. They'll make that money back. They'd have made that money in a few minutes off of a few people in comparison to 100 some odd people buying the game in terms of financials. So not only do they get the retail purchase from the person, but then on top of that, they buying the bundles. They buying the packs. EA ain't gonna make that money. And that's furthermore, that's why all that stuff talking about EA and all that, getting the money and all that's dead. That's dead. Key in on what you can key in on, which are the issues. Gameplay. Financials, you could go on somewhere with that. But as far as the core gameplay problems, that's the only thing you could really focus in on. That's it. Yeah. Focus in on those problems, let them know about them, see, hopefully they could take them, move that needle closer. We'll see. That's it. That's all you can do. So I just wanted to tack that little bit on, Tim, what you were saying.
You know what, guys? One of these shows, man, and we're gonna get out of here, but one of these shows, I might bring the blog talk. Might bring in the blog talk number so you can call, and I'll use it, the number that I use for the Steelers podcast. I want some of you guys to call in and give me some of your theories. Like my man here, Phoenix Elite says, he says, while they can't put so much in the game at one time, it's the Frostbite engine. I want to know more in depth some of those theories, because that to me, I don't know about that. What about the Frostbite engine would prevent that? I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of EA games on Frostbite. I mean, look at Battlefield and look at all of that stuff that's going on at one time. You have 128 players on this gigantic map and tanks shooting and airplane.
We made points back then, Sim, about Levolution and the weather effects and everything in Battlefield, and that's all for them using Frostbite. So that ain't it.
I don't know how that would.
NHL, you seen NHL 22 in the trailer they put out and everything like that. When they went to Frostbite, the game went up. So I can't. It ain't Frostbite.
Yeah, I don't think it's. And listen, I don't know. So I'm not saying that your theory is wrong.
I have a hard time believing. I'll say that to correct it. I have a hard time believing it's Frostbite.
Yeah, and if it was Frostbite, y'all have had plenty of time to figure that out.
Yeah.
So you really wouldn't get no excuse from me in that case, EA. So, but all right, guys, we're gonna get up out of here, man. We've been here long enough tonight. Appreciate the viewership. We got another donation from Black Scorpion. Definitely appreciate that, man. That's all I got for the night, man. I ain't got nothing else. Smitty, anything else you want to chime in on before we go?
No, that's it, man. We appreciate y'all, like Sim said, coming through and hanging out. Check out the game. Check out the game on the trial if you need to. If you're on the fence or worry about the game, check it out on the trial if you haven't already. If it's your cup of tea, cop it. If not, then there are other options coming if you want to play a different game for a football fix, unless you want to play an older one. But like I said, Find that fishbowl that pleases you, swim in that boy, and have fun. You know, because gaming's supposed to be fun, not sitting around and just be grumpy gusses about it. So, you know, if it's not fun to you, don't play it. Play what you're gonna have fun with. So that's all I really got.
That's all I got. We wish y'all well. Have a great night. Stay safe. God bless. Enjoy your weekend. If you are a Madden player, play the game. Give your feedback on what's good and feedback on what's bad. What you would like to see next. What needs to be fixed. And if you don't like Madden, please listen to me carefully. Don't play it. Don't play it. Don't buy it. That would be the best advice I could give you. But all right, man. Y'all be good. We'll catch y'all the next time. Until then, we thank y'all for tuning in. See you later. Peace.
Peace.